Sup? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. I got a question for y'all. Whenever you make your D&D character, do you put a little bit of yourself into it, or is it one of those things where you put the opposite of yourself? I'll let you know right now. For me, when it comes to making Morrow, I put everything opposite of me. IRL, outside of being Morrow, I am a filthy degenerate that loves succubi ladies. Morrow's a little bit more on the grumpy side. He just really likes coin and is not really interested in anything else. Obviously, he's not going to be a nuisance or a problem to the party, but he's a little bit more on the grouchy side rather than more on the fun side. The only thing myself, IRL, and Morrow share is the fact that we're fatherless. So I guess you can call this YouTube channel Fatherless Behavior. Woo! Anyway, enough about nonsense. Let's get to some RPG horror stories for today. An essay on swords and katanas. Context: Telegram group chat. TLDR, Bozo who never touched the rules, not even the quick start for D&D 5e, appears and argues for more or less than 4 hours about wanting to make a Sekiro copy pasta while insulting the GM. The synopsis is as follows. I want a katana like a two-handed dexterity weapon on D&D 5e. There's not. Risking a longsword or rapier for the finesse. I don't want to be told it doesn't make sense because it's heavy, and I want it to be an agile warrior like Sekiro. This is where hell gets loose. Why not just reskin like a smaller katana into a scimitar? I mean, scimitar is basically like a katana. If you think about it, like not directly a katana, but maybe like a wakizashi or just a smaller size katana, or like different katana variant. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Sekiro didn't have like a full-size katana. At least I don't think he did. Maybe he did. I don't really know actually. We suggest the monk Kensei, who can do just by the rulebook, is an agile warrior, etc., etc. But Bozo declares monk, rogue, and paladin make him sick, but they're too slow. Huh? Or fragile. How? Wait, hold on. How is monk slow or fragile? I mean, they don't have the highest hit dice and everything, but if you build good armor, then yeah, you'll be good. Max out dexterity, max out wisdom, boom, you have high AC. No shield required or anything, you just run around with a katana. And slow, monk has like the best speed. Rogue, I mean, rogue can have dexterity, but also has evasion and other reactions you can use in order to lessen the damage. It's not squishy. Rogue can work just fine as well, and it's pretty fast as well. Paladin, how is, I mean, yeah, maybe not fast, but how is Paladin squishy? This person makes no sense. After a couple of minutes, chat discovers that Bozo is sure that having high strength reduces dexterity, because a muscular character is not agile in Sekiro or Destiny, and speed is based on dexterity for only God knows why. It seems that it's not like the character Bozo has in mind, it's pure trash. Spoiler, he wanted a one-to-one Sekiro main character with perfect parry, long jump, sneak, critical, and revive, but refused to use monk, rogue, fighter, or paladin classes. I can't tell if this is just frustratingly stupid or insanely funny. I'm kinda torn. I'm both frustrated and amused by how dumb this sounds. This person being nicknamed Bozo, sounds pretty accurate. We suggest him about raising both strength and dexterity for good and all-rounded martial warrior. But Bozo repeated the last part about speed, etc., etc. Small part of chat starts to lose hope on him and just leaves the discussion. The remaining chat asks him if he already read the core manual, or at least the free quick start. Bozo has not. He just needs YouTube recorded campaign for it would be waste to pay for a book he could throw away if his katana cannot be made. Like, you can find all the rules for free. You don't need to buy the book to learn the rules. The rules are literally written for free online. People have posted and reposted the rules for D&D 5e for free. You don't need to buy anything. People already suggested you risking a longsword or rapier, or I mean, I don't know, a scimitar. I don't know, dude. Also, dexterity does not equal lack of speed. You can still have a lot of strength and be fast as hell. How is this real? Chat still had some hopes for him, so he inquired about Bozo's DM. What are his thoughts about it? The DM is a novice. He has no right to have or give an opinion. What the actual frick? Chat tries to make Bozo realize how easy he insulted his DM, but Bozo ignores it all and asks again about his broken katana, like a broken vinyl record. Again, for another 3 damn hours, we gently propose to reskin a rapier as a balanced one-handed finesse sword reskin and wakizashi, or a longsword, a two-handed nodachi. Chat goes silent and peaceful for a bit. Then he returned, The DM granted me Homebrew 2-hand D10 bastard and 1-hand D8 with finesse, but I don't want it because he's a novice and therefore not entitled to have opinions. We accused him of trolling, ping chat's mods, and asked him to be respectful to his DM. No, it was all you who told me I can't do what I want, so I'm stupid. His words, cause no one in the chat called him stupid. We just repeated to read the manual. But I'm not quitting D&D. Huh? Someone in chat proposed a setting-specific magical finesse elven longsword. Sorry, I don't know the actual name. But it's not a katana. Just started playing Destiny 2 and Sekiro and watching Stranger Things, but I know these things. If I use one-handed katana, then you will think I'm a pussy. Us? Thinking a one-hand weapon is for pussies? In a game where 3/4 of the weapons are one-handed? Mods arrive. Say, have you read the manual yet? No, why? Ban. Peace is restored, and those poor blacksmiths can return to making classic European swords. And I can return to spam Pathfinder 2 superiority and puny D&D 5e. I'll let you know right now, both games are fine, play whatever you want to play. Bonus, the same bows appeared on different TTRPG Discord servers sometime later. Guess what sword he asked about? People have given this guy suggestions about different reskins of weapons that are already in game just to make it simpler. And I mean, if you really think about it, a lot of elven blades from like Lord of the Rings or really any elven media, they do have a bit of that curve to it, similar to a katana. Strength doesn't matter about speed. You can have strength-based character or dexterity-based character and still be pretty fast. It really depends on how you build your character, what feats you grab, what sort of perks you grab, what magic items you try to find or even craft. The audacity of the guy just to assume he knows better because he played Sekiro and Destiny and some other game, I'm not sure what game he mentioned, but the fact that he thinks that the DM is just some stupid idiot that doesn't know any better because they're an amateur or something. But to come into a Telegram or Discord or whatever this is supposed to be and just to assume that your DM is a novice and doesn't deserve to have an opinion only because you got into Sekiro, Destiny, and some other game and think you know more about D&D than a DM that has more experience than you and the entire server that has more experience than you. Everybody deserves to have an opinion. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. To think that your opinion is better than others and other people don't deserve to have an opinion or aren't entitled to have an opinion, that makes you look more like a dickhead than anybody else. Anyway, what a crazy story of some absolute, you know, the name Bozo actually is very accurate. Absolute Bozo. DM gets mad for asking about homebrew rules. I, 30s female, recently joined an online D&D group, DM and 3 others, all now 30s and 40s. I found an LFG. I was extremely happy because I expected fellow mid-30s people to be more level-headed and mature, and for everyone but the DM, that was the case. I joined as a new player in a group that already was 2 sessions in. According to the players, 5 people combined had already left the group in 2 sessions. First red flag. In my 1.5 session, our DM would consistently keep changing rules and post them in the announcement channel. Specific rule that time was that wizards wouldn't be learning spells by level up anymore. We're level 3 at the moment. I messaged him and mentioned that it would probably be a better idea to talk this through with the party tomorrow. Maybe they have similar questions, and generally it would be a better idea to communicate with the party first before coming up with the changes. He said it's not needed, and he's a great DM and knows what he does. Second red flag. Alright, collectively 5 people left from your sessions that you only had 2 sessions of. That's immediately a red flag. It means people are running for the hills. Whoever staying is either very patient or too lazy or just so desperate for D&D they'll deal with the nonsense. Second, if any DM claims to be, I'm a great DM, they're probably not a great DM. I've DM'd for over 2 years and I still to this day constantly second guess everything that I do and constantly trying to find ways to make the game more fun for my players and finding ways to improve on some things that I can do, whether it be presentation or preparation or map optimization or what have you. I try to find ways to make sure that everything is working nice and smooth when it comes to running a D&D session and everything. And even to this day still, I find myself looking back at every single session that I do and thinking, oh, I did that bad, I need to get better, I need to improve. Because at the end of the day, if I get to the point where I'm thinking I'm the bestest DM ever and nobody can tell me otherwise, that probably means I'm so full of myself. So I don't want to get to that point ever. I want to improve and get better for the sake of my players at all times. Asked how we would be learning new spells as dungeon loot and in shops. Well, in that case, hopefully there wouldn't be one use. We had 3 wizards in a party. While common ones like Magic Missile would be found everywhere, what about more obscure spells like Gift of Alacrity and Catnap? Would we be able to get those as well? Wait. You have 3 wizards in your party. that specifically learn by leveling up and by also scribing spell scrolls into their book. And you changing the rules for all 3 wizards without checking them ahead of time, and you're gonna leave it to them like, oh, you have to find spell scrolls or purchase spell scrolls and then spend more materials in order to write stuff down to it. Are you serious? You gotta scroll over all your 3 wizard players with just a random haphazard rule without checking back with them? What kind of DM would do that? Well, clearly this DM, because I think I am such a good DM, I could do whatever I want. Man, it kind of reminds me of one specific DM that I had to deal with before in the past. Anyway, let's continue. Apparently I did something incredibly bad with this. He went on a long rant about how players can't just keep doing whatever they want. How D&D is not a toy, it's a game. How I don't know anything about pacing and story writing. And Matt Mercer calls rules all the time. This was not the type of reaction I was expecting to a simpler question. Third red flag. Listen, OP, I think the flag should work like a strike system. 3 flags, and you're out of there. Run for the hills. Get yourself out before it becomes a disaster. How many more red flags do you need to stack before you decide, I'm out of this group? I'm just not dealing with it. Also, for the DM to absolutely stupidly claim you can do whatever you want. What do you mean? It's part of the class feature in the player handbook. Every time a wizard levels, they get 2 spells. What do you mean, can't do whatever I want? It's in the rules, buddy. What does he mean by that? That makes no sense. I said it's really better to communicate the want to change core mechanics of class, especially if you have 3 of that class in your group in a party first. His response? Look, do you know what it's like to be in the middle of a war zone? What? What is he talking about? In the middle of a war zone? When people just asking, maybe just don't do that dumb thing? What do you mean war zone? What is that supposed to mean? I wasn't expecting this. I asked him, what does that have to do with this? His response was a mix of, what's wrong with you? Lol, something's wrong with you IRL. You've been a bit catty, aren't you? Wink emoji. I'm being targeted. You're crossing my boundary. I know you want to cross my boundary. I'm giving you my permission. This DM is so fragile. So freaking fragile. As soon as a player was like, hey, maybe don't just instantly change things and maybe get feedback with the players and have people agree together, you know, decide together on a rule, immediately just a meltdown, immediate meltdown over this because they're being attacked and targeted because a player dared to say, hey, maybe don't do that. This is ridiculous. Let's keep going. I need to see how this disaster ends. I responded, in my 20 years of DMing and playing, I've never met a DM who treated his players like his personal fool like you are. You're disrespecting your players. You call your players names. You treat everything we say as a joke. And you call us names for asking about mechanics. Needless to say, I'm not part of that group anymore. DM's response while looking in the middle of blocking, oh, well, at that point, I take back my permission to have this conversation. I'm trying to offer you a safe and fun place for players. You can express yourself and get lost with others. But that's not what you want. You want conflict, and that's not okay with me. The thing is that I'll be completely fine with whatever buff and nerf he came up with, and this weird conversation happened simply because I wanted to know how exactly his new rule is going to work. Because I said it might be a better idea to communicate something like this with the group first. The other players in the group were absolutely fantastic, amazing combat, amazing RP, and we had a great synergy and party dynamic. I really wish I could have kept playing with you guys. The story is not fully over here. There actually are screenshots of the actual direct conversation. And you know what? For the sake of performing this conversation and just for the sake of performance, the performative art that is this mess, I'm gonna go ahead and properly voice everything here. But OP, I would honestly recommend talking to some of the players if you have any contact with them and be like, hey, listen, let's just make our own group, play our own thing. Maybe you can find a different DM, I don't know. Either way, OP, I wish you the very best. But without further ado, the conversation. Scene 1. Magic missile, fireball, and haste. I'll probably find at every shop. But what if I want to learn something like Gift of Alacrity of Katana? Would shops have more obscure spells too? Yes, but D&D is not a toy. It's a game. There'll be powerful spells and loot and dungeons in its shops, but I can't break the game because you have the feeling that you want to be satisfied if I do. First of all, you won't. Players are never satisfied with any amount of loot. In order to maintain tension in the game and balance risk and reward with danger, I have to maintain power scaling, challenge integrity, the sense of progression, the sense of PCs being rewarded for effort, narrative consistency, the value, as I called valence, of the rewards themselves, maintaining long-term interest, role preservation, and pacing, ... You want me to throw all that out the window because you want to make any spell you want? How do you think I should respond to that? Again, I'm not your average DM. I am very, very good at this. Trust the process. Even the best DMs wouldn't just pull mechanic changes out of nowhere behind the party's back and get mad at players for asking questions. Why do you say I'm mad? I'm not mad. I'm eating ice cream and watching YouTube. Lol. Look, do you know what it's like to be in the middle of a war zone? I do. After that, life is easy. What does that have to do with this, lol? Because I'm not mad or feeling emotional anyway. You're projecting emotions onto me. I'm watching this video about AI. I'm not really all that concerned emotionally with what you're saying. I'm simply responding. Are you okay, IRL? Is there something going on making you angry or hurt? Being shown that I'm not part of the game. Oh, okay, I think I get it now. That was not my intention at all. Isn't the fact that I'm here, listening to you and not blowing you off, evidence that you're important and valuable? I mean, you kinda told me to suck it up plus trust the process when I was asking questions. Ha, paraphrased. Suck it up. It's not trust the process. Trusting the process is a request for trust, not a demand to comply. Keyword here is trust. Dude, something is going on with you. Are you okay? How can I trust something I don't know much about? Tell me more. This was extremely uncalled for. Huh? I'm being targeted. You're not allowed to cross my boundary or take your anger out of me without my permission.
Tell me more how you can't trust something you don't know about. And I was wondering why 5 people ran away from you in 2 sessions. Good luck.
Wait, are you quitting? You personally attacked me? Okay, lol. Just chill and explain to me your point of view. If you quit, I'm gonna think you don't have one and you prove me right that you're just attacking me for attack's sake. You've attacked me like 3 times and I haven't attacked you at all. You told me to come to you with anything I have concerns about. I came to you and said that not communicating with your party before making rule changes is not great, and asked questions about the new rules they came up with. For some reason, you took it as an attack on your ego, when all I wanted was to know what you were envisioning. That's fair. I don't have an ego. What was your boundary here exactly that I was crossing? For assuming your emotions. I just don't have a whole lot of information over text to make accurate judgment. Asking about specifics of the new mechanics? I don't want to be at a table where that's a boundary. Are you being catty? Lol. In my 20 years of DMing, I've never met a DM who treated his players like his personal fools like you are. You disrespect your players, you call your players names, you treat everything we say as a joke. Okay, well at this point, I take back my permission to have this conversation. I'm trying to offer you a safe and fun place to players where you can express yourself and get lost with others, but that's not what you want. You want conflict, and that's not okay with me. Gee, so kind of this DM to give permission to offer complaints and concerns. Wow, what an impeccable DM. Oh, please give me more permission, DM daddy. What a f***ing cringe lord. Yeah, I think you dodged a massive bullet. I can't believe people really want to play with this guy. Honestly, they must be desperate for D&D. And they just don't have any other place to want to look for, or they think it's going to be too hard to find another online game. Listen, if you're stuck with a DM like this, leave. There's so many better ways and easier ways to find a new online game, or hell, start with your buddies and friends. Please, like seriously, get yourself out of games where there are terrible DMs like this. This DM, aside from having to change rules on the fly, has the same kind of high superiority complex mentality that lower DM has. Maybe not as intense, but pretty similar to it. Definitely something seems a little bit off about it, where as soon as you start questioning their decisions or what they're doing, you immediately attacking them. It's suddenly an attack. Anyway, get yourself out of that place and don't play with people like this because this guy sucks. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching and thank you so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales tomorrow. Bye-bye.